All right, we're going to jump into how to use the dashboard tab of Pack Magik. So here, first glance, if you are signed in and you have a collection, you will see your collection graph. Every day we take your collection value and we build into a graph for you. You can see kind of its change over the last X amount of days. So this is 30 days. If I change it to 3 months, it'll say 90 days, week over 7 days. So you'll know, and you'll also know your profit and loss on those days, so that if you are a serious collector and you are seriously trying to track everything, you can know your values over time. This shows you underneath, you can see the movers and shakers for your collection. So what has moved the most and what has gone up the most and what's gone down the most. So you can see in my collection what has gone up the most over the past week, and what, if I switch to losers, I can see what's gone down the most in the past week. So this is just a quick at a glance what's going up. So it's partially intended to help answer the question of, what has moved in my collection. So if I look at, this is the past week, why is it 2.5% different than it was last week? So I can look at this and be like, oh, well, these cards went up, these cards went down, these products went down, these products went up, and I can have my answer quickly. What to grade? So in Pack Magik, we take a gradability signal for every card that is $10 or greater every night. Every single night we check it. And if you have a card listed as a PSA 10, for example, in your collection, it's not going to recommend that card to grade. It'll only recommend cards that are marked as ungraded inside your collection. So these are cards within your collection that show the highest gradability, which means that it takes into a huge number of variables. So for example, if the card's value is going up and the PSA 10 value is going up too, that doesn't necessarily mean that the card is gradable. But if the PSA 10 price is going up faster than the raw price, that means it's more gradable, because the value of the graded copies are increasing in value at a quicker rate against the raw copies. And then also it looks at the spread. So how big is the spread after all of the fees? We take into account all the fees that you'll likely pay based on the card and its value and its end value. And then also the PSA 9 values. So you can rest assured that if you do grade it and it happens to get a 9 instead of a 10, it is still worth it. So that's kind of some of the facts and figures that we go off of when we look at gradability. Down below, we have your portfolio in a very simple and easy way to look at. You can just look through and see, your profit and loss on different cards in your collection, and you can quickly search your collection for a card. So if I am looking for all of my Mewtwo cards, I can type that in here. They will pop up and I can see them all, and I can see which ones are graded and which ones are not. So I have this in a tag 10. This is in a DSG 9. And if I need to, I can edit this right here. I can say ungraded. If I cracked it, I can say how much I paid for it. I open this in a pack, so I just have it at 0. If I end up selling it, I can put it as sold and it will save for the profit and loss, numbers you see. And once I'm done, I can save this and it'll close up and I can keep moving. All right, moving along to the Market Watch slide. So in Market Watch, we take the average card price for a bunch of different types of cards every night and the total card price of a bunch of different types of cards every night. So the entire ungraded market, this is the average price per card of the entire ungraded market. So this is to help against people who are saying the market is crashing or the market is booming or whatever it is. These are the facts. This is the truest form of knowing if the prices of cards are actually going up or not, because it takes them all. Okay, so if the market is going up, you'll see it here. If it is going down, you will see it here. And you can also swap it over to the PSA 10 market to see how it is doing. Let's take the last, 3 months. It still seems to be going pretty strong. I could be looking at the ETB market. I could be looking at the booster box market. I could be looking at the amazing rare market of all of the amazing rares. And this is the total value of all amazing rares. And I could use this to say, hey, these have kind of been going up lately. Maybe I should buy some because they've been starting to trend up. They're very cheap. I can spend $65 and buy them all. This might be my play right now. I could look at crystal cards. I could look at the mega cards. So mega cards are a good thing to look at here because when I look at mega cards, you can see they've been going up because we've been getting a lot of hype with the new mega sets. Everybody's been kind of pushing mega cards. But now that the new set has come out, we see this kind of drop that's starting to happen. And when we see things like this, it brings up our next tool that you can use in the Market Watch tab, which is the EMAs. EMA stands for exponential moving averages. People who trade stocks in cryptocurrency use EMAs often. Many great day traders only use EMAs to make their day trading decisions. And so EMAs refer to, like, the number 7 is 7 periods. So for this, it's going to be 7 days. So exponential moving average over 7 days, 14 days, 21 days, 50 days, and 100 days. If you are not a Prime member, you only have access to the 21. Prime members who are a little bit more professional, who are really trying to look at this as like an investment, you can buy Prime and you can have access to all of them. But you can see the 7 has just dipped below the 14 and the 21. So that indicates to a professional trader, hey, maybe this is a good selling opportunity. This might be the top of the overall mega market when it comes to the older megas. Okay, modern chases, you can see they've still been going up and going strong. No problems there. Moving on, you can see for any of these areas that you've chosen to look at, what has the top buy indicators for the market that you're looking for. So if I'm looking at the modern chases, these cards have the highest buy indicators for modern chases. And buying indicators have a lot to do with these EMAs that I told you about and how they are looking. So if we go back to the megas, we can see that these cards have the strongest buy indicators for the mega cards. Going down here for your bookmarks, these are the cards and products in your bookmarks that have the strongest buy indicators as well. So for example, I've been considering picking up this Ghastly for a little while, and it says that out of all of the cards that I've bookmarked, this card in particular has the highest indicator that I should probably buy it. All right, moving on to trending. Trending is a quick and easy way to just see what cards have been starting to trend up or down in price. You might every once in a while see things like this, very large and dramatic shifts. If something like that happens, what most likely has occurred is I have changed our algorithm a little bit. I don't go just strictly based on TCG player. I don't go strictly based on price charting. I don't go strictly based on eBay either. I look at a huge number of different elements and data points, including eBay, including price charting, sometimes TCG player, to help formulate what is the true value of this card. What are people willing to pay for it? But also, what would it cost in replacing this card? If you really wanted it right now today, what could you expect to pay for the card? So sometimes every once in a while, I make slight adjustments. I find errors. I find problems. I'm one guy. So I make shifts in the algorithm. And so you might see little jumps like that. So anyways, these are cards that are trending up in value. I could also swap it over to sets that are trending. I could swap it over to products that are trending. I can swap it over to, just Pokemon that are trending. And you can see the trending Jolteon cards here. So Jolteon is starting to go up in value again. I recently changed our algorithm, so you might see things like this little jump ups. And trainers as well. You can see the same thing. For cards, we also have breaking out. So that's like a little bit stronger than just trending. That means like very recently, it's undergone a big price shift. As I did just recently change the algorithm, so we might have a couple false positives here. But that will all get ironed out over time. All right, and that concludes the dashboard section of our tutorials. I hope it's been helpful. If you have any questions, you can always send me a message at Trainer Gertis on Instagram, or you can just go to the contact form and I check out those messages about once a week. Thank you so much. Have a great day.